from North America as those protests nationwide continue to rage on. But we move on now to the Middle East, and the US-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation says at least 5 Palestinian aid workers were killed after their bus came under attack near Khan Yunis. Several others were reported injured and some may have been taken hostage. All victims were Palestinian staff delivering food aid. GHF, backed by Israel and private US security, began operations on May the 26th after months of an aid blockade. But the group faces criticism, with the UN and major NGOs refusing to work with it, citing ties to Israeli military objectives. Israel and the GHF deny reports of troops firing on civilians at aid sites. Meanwhile, tensions are rising near Egypt's Rafah border crossing as Israel calls on Cairo to stop 2 Gaza-bound activist convoys. Defence Minister Israel Katz warned that the protesters could provoke violence and threaten Israeli troops. One group, the Sumud convoy, has travelled from Tunisia through Libya and hopes to enter Gaza via Egypt, though Cairo has yet to grant access. Egypt says it supports pressure on Israel to lift the blockade, but insists all delegations must follow official procedures. A second group, the Global March to Gaza, plans a 50-kilometre walk from Arish to the Rafah crossing on Friday, with 4,000 expected to join. Several French activists were reportedly detained at Cairo airport and in hotels as tensions mount. Meanwhile, 4 French nationals detained by Israel after their Gaza-bound aid boat was intercepted will be expelled by the end of the week. Among them is Rima Hassan, a French-Palestinian member of the European Parliament. She was briefly held in solitary confinement, reportedly for writing Free Palestine on a prison wall. The group was among 12 activists aboard the Madeleine carrying aid to Gaza. France's Prime Minister accused the activists of politicising the conflict, while opposition figures called for stronger government support. France and Saudi Arabia are co-hosting a UN meeting this month focused on steps towards Palestinian statehood. We'll listen in now to the French Prime Minister Francis Bayrou.
Quant à la flottille, je dois vous dire que ces militants ont obtenu l'effet qu'ils voulaient obtenir, mais que c'est une instrumentalisation à laquelle nous ne devons pas nous prêter. Je ne reprends aucun élément de langage de qui que ce soit. Je prends le seul élément de langage qui nous réunit, c'est-à-dire le regard des Français sur une situation inacceptable mais instrumentalisée.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu confirmed that Israeli forces have recovered the bodies of 2 Israeli hostages in Gaza. One was identified as Yair Yaakov, killed during the October 7th attacks. The operation took place in Khan Yunis, based on intelligence from Israeli security agencies. Meanwhile, Israeli lawmakers have narrowly rejected an opposition-backed bill to dissolve parliament and trigger an early election. In a vote early on Thursday, 61 out of the 120 Knesset members voted against the proposal, while 53 supported it. The opposition introduced the bill hoping to force snap polls with support from ultra-Orthodox parties. These parties are upset with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu over the contentious issue of military conscription for deeply religious Jews. The closed vote highlights ongoing tensions within Israel's political landscape, but Netanyahu's government remains intact for now. In a major development on global trade, US President Donald Trump has